and welcome to the platform walkthrough for ArtGO.Digital. I will go through all of the features that ArtGO.Digital has that will be great for managing your design collection. So first of all, I'm in my demo environment and I'm going to log in with our user. Of course, security is one of the most important things, making sure all your designs are protected. So we include a lot of security features like multi-factor authentication. But what is also possible is that we integrate with Microsoft Entra, for example, to make sure that login is only possible for users that have access. So let me enter on my code from my authenticator. So after you log in, you enter to the platform dashboard. So the platform dashboard, you get a quick overview of any designs that have been added into the system. So per user, you can see either per month or per week how many designs have been added. Of course, only users that have access to the dashboard will be able to see this. For example, if a client will log in, they will not see your internal dashboards. So the layout of the platform, like your logo, your colors, can be very easily customized. And this is something that you can do yourself. We don't need to come in with any kind of development. I can just change the logo, your own company logo with your own color, for example. I'm just changing any kind of example logo, maybe changing the color of your house style, so it looks like an extension of your own company. So let me change it back to our logo. So let's go back to the main overview. So on the top, we have a few options where you can easily navigate to. And just to mention, on the left, there are a lot of options. That is because I'm currently logged in as an admin view where all of the settings and configuration options are there. I will show a little bit later how the application will look like if I log in with a client login. You'll see much less, and you can only decide what those login users are able to see. So starting from categories are just a, let's say, initial filter of any kind of visual, let's say, designs or mood boards or colorways that you can store in the system. Additionally, we can even store project information, which is not so much a design, but project information like due date, contact person, information, etc. So I will go into our print design library. So on the top, we have a great search bar. And the search bar works in two different ways. So we have a visual search and we have a tag search. And you can easily switch this with this toggle button where you switch between tag searching and image similarity is how we call that. So image similarity is designed so you can just type any kind of ID or theme or design characteristics, and the system will automatically find anything that is likely to match your search query. So if I type watercolor, for example, and I search, it will find all the designs that are watercolor. If I say dark design with lines, it will find all my designs that are, let's say, relevant to my search query. The one on the top is most relevant to what you are searching. This is great if you don't know the name of the design or if the design is tagged a little bit differently, even with spelling mistakes. It's almost like a Google search. You can just start to type anything and it will find anything which is relevant. So on the top, there is also a bar where it will say, okay, if it's a good match or fair match, it will probably expand your search query a bit, but you can just start to type anything. And the example I always give, I have a design that has the Eiffel Tower. If I just type in Paris, it will find designs that are relevant to Paris. So it doesn't need to be the Eiffel Tower. So this design has the Eiffel Tower. There is the word Paris there. But another example, if I type in tower in France, which is actually not tagged, it will still find the Eiffel Tower because it's relevant to my searching. This means that however you're typing it, you're probably finding your relevant designs. Um, I'll just like flowers, so even I can misspell it, as you can see. Um, so another nice things which designers really like is our search by image. So let's take a quick screenshot of some of the flowers here. It doesn't really matter. It can be a pattern you found off the internet, or you want to find something similar. So for that, I enable our search by image, and I can just paste my part of my design, or I can pick a design that I have on my hard disk. And if I find similar designs, it will find this design first because it's most likely, and then it will find everything which is relevant to or is more or less matching with something inside of the designs that I pasted. For example, this one, I mean, there are some characteristics which are similar to the original search query. Another one I would like to see, I will go back to my Paris design. So I put out very quickly this flower, which is part of the Eiffel Tower design. I will go back to my search by image, paste. Let me just reset the view. So we start. Click find similar image, and you'll see it will find the design, first of all, where it's actually being used, but also everything which is very much matching with this pattern that I pasted in. If I click on any other design I have in my library, I have another option to see similar designs of the one that I've stored. And it will browse your entire library and find all the designs that are quite matching. So you're looking for a particular design. This is not the design exactly I want. So let's again look in the library for anything that is matching. As you see, all these designs are, I mean, they match the same style. They're floral, they have a flat background, they're matching my original design. So there's a lot of ways you can use this image similarity search to get to your pattern. The other option is we can search by tags, and tags are actually all of the different fields that you can see of each design. So first of all the fields are completely customizable to your environment. Um, that means you can decide which fields you want to have, what the name of the fields are, the order of the fields. Are there particular fields you might not use? So our system comes with a standard template for easy start, but very easily you can, or an admin actually can um, enter or add additional fields or change how you would like to see it. So I have different tabs on the top to separate different information. So general information about the design. I have commercial and project information and maybe some additional production information. Um, so for all of the fields, you could also have access control who is allowed to see certain information or not. So certain fields could be used hidden for different roles. Let's enter a order number, for example, for this design. So I'm going to add a role. I'll say order 5566 from the past. Let me save the item. So also, I'm gonna add it maybe to a client. So again, this layout is completely changeable. I can also add my clients in my order table as a different column. So you can add multiple columns also to your orders. So everything is searchable here. So let me just go back to my design. Okay, I have to save it. It will give me a message that I forgot to save my design. So if I start to search, if I toggle by text searching, I can start to type any kind of, for example, my order number. If I just start typing, you'll see it will find everything that is 01234 or 05566, and immediately it will find this design. So the typing will also be a predictive search. So if I type in, I always use my lemons because I know the designs are tagged with different items that are lemons. And if you just start typing, the system will auto suggest different text which are tagged in the system. But that can be client names, for example, my quantum textiles. If you start typing part of it, it will automatically find quantum textiles. And if you search on that, all the designs that are set to quantum textiles. I believe it's bought by client quantum textiles in this. So this searching can be even more customizable, where we can specify that you only want to search on certain fields. Maybe you only want to search on a color or description or the file name. Um, Even going more complex, where you can remove certain words from the from searching. For example, you're looking for a particular design. You get a lot of stripe designs, but actually you don't want striping. So you just type minus stripes, and it will exclude all of the designs that are striped. So it's not only searching, but also removing items from a search to be more narrow. Additionally to that, if I open up my search bar on the right, we go even much further with searching. So we have specific tick boxes which we can use to find anything within a certain collection, anything made by a certain designer. My status, if something is approved or pending, well, nothing pending, nothing rejected, luckily, but so all of the design statuses that are set, you can easily find. Um, uh, Also, we have an advanced search. So for even more complex searching, you can combine fields. So I want every color code that equals 55, but is the status should be approved, and some other example designer has to be Julie. So with all of this combination, and of course, if you have a very large library, you can do very specific searching to get to your designs. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the option of a design. So when I open up a design, there's a couple of icons underneath the image. So first of all, if I click on the image, you get a larger screenshot of the design. So thumbnails are automatically generated. We import the majority of different file format, of course, standard file formats like TIFF, JPEG, BMP, PNG, but also Photoshop files, Adobe Illustrator files, um, PDF files, and we also import from various CAD/CAM manufacturers the specific design files. Um, so the icons here, I mean, every icon will give a tooltip what you're able to do. So if I want to re-upload a changed design, I can do that here immediately. The only thing that will change is information like colors, information like sizing if my design has changed, but all the other information that you have tagged, like project numbers, order numbers, will all stay the same, and you don't need to re-enter that. Of course, I can download the original file. So if I've saved an original file, I can download it directly from the platform. I can also delete it if I have user rights. Let me open up another design that has actually some index colors, because it's a little bit nicer to see. So this design is indexed, and it will automatically extract the colors. It will know how much percent of it is, RGB values, but we can also display color codes, Pantone numbers, or even more custom color codes that are assigned to your colors. I'm gonna have a look at the print option. So from all of the design, or maybe from an overview designs, you can immediately generate a PDF file. And the PDF will always be generated according to a template that you can easily create in our system. So if I click on this, it went to my other screen. Let me open it up, and you'll see automatically it generate a template. So my template is a very simple one where I said, okay, I want to have the title, I want to have the sizing, and it's going to put the color chips underneath with color percentages, names, numbers, etc. This can be also completely customized. If you want to have nice color cards or square color chips, we can easily adjust the template to show that. Um, we can view the design in repeat if you want to have a quick overview. Then we have a few nice features, the recoloring in 3D, which I'll show in a bit. Then the last icons, I can add a design to my favorites. So these are favorites to my own user login. I can add some comments, nice design, and post that. And this comment will be stored with this design. Now, on the background, what our system can do is notify specific assigned people to um, either a role or to be notified when a comment is being made. For example, the design department might get notified of comments being made on the design by maybe the sales department or maybe by clients. So you immediately see what's happening in the system, and you can configure this um, per role per user what is happening. Also, when somebody replies on a comment, you get notified that there's a reply made with a nice link. You click on it, and immediately you will open up this design and see what the reply was. Another item, we can share it. Again, we can turn this on or off, but I can immediately share the image. And if I click share, the image will be added to an email or WhatsApp or anything other medium that you want to share your design. Of course, sharing the PDF, you just generate the PDF and you use the share icon from Adobe Acrobat PDF. Okay, then the recoloring and 3D tool. So recoloring works on designs that are indexed or full image files, but then we can only recolor using hue saturation and lightness sliders. So this is an indexed design. So let's open it up in my recoloring tool, and it loads a standard color book. So also the color books, you can control what color books are available in the system. And you can also control if users are allowed to recolor outside of the color book. For example, I have a color picker, and my color picker, I can pick any design or any color basically from my bar, but sometimes you don't want that. Um, this happens often in production where it's not possible to dye every yarn possible. So you limit that designers or users, sorry, are only able to recolor from the set of colors that are predefined. You can have multiple color books. So also per user, you can define what color books they're able to see. And if I use my magic button now, it will only recolor from the colors that are available to me. So if I like this design, I'm going to add colorways. I'm going to click my magic button again and generate some different color variants, add to colorways. If I go to my colorway tab, I will see all the colorways that are generated. And this can be done externally by clients. This can be done by salespeople together with a client where they can make some custom colorways. Now, if I save them, we will get well, at this example, an order sheet, but you can completely customize what kind of information you want to add. And all of these colorways will then automatically be added into the system. We know which role or actually which user has created them, what are the colors that are used, and we can also set up that, for example, the sales department or the design department will get notified of new colorways that have been added by a certain user. So additionally to this, um, we can add some texture. So this is a very simple texture option where the system comes with a few preloaded textures like um, a fabric texture. So these are some woven textures, but we can also add some carpet textures just to give it a carpet look. I wouldn't say this is 100% accurate, but it gives a little bit of a nice touch. And I can still recolor with the texture enabled on the background. So also we can add or change to a 3D view where we can view the design on a 3D model. And these are, you can add your own models. You can decide which models are available to users. So this is currently a shirting, but I can put the design on a pillow. Of course, you can zoom out, look around, change the image sizing. We can put it on the floor, for example, just to give a quick preview of the design. And I can still recolor directly in the 3D view as well. Okay. So let's look at the 3D here, and I'm going to open up a different design that is a bit nicer for my example. For example, this one. So the 3D option, we have a few different um, possibilities of adding this design to 3D. So first of all, we have our 3D models. So these are true 3D models where immediately it's putting this design on there, and I can look around and see how it looks like. The other option of our 3D, which is our latest additions, are photo realistic generation of the design on a preset photo. For example, I have a chair, a hotel floor, and a rug. So let's click on the chair. And this photo has been pre-configured to place the pattern, the design onto the chair. And you get a very realistic image that you can download on high quality. Let's have a look how it looks on the hotel floor. And it will generate it on the fly. You can add your own image as well. So if you are on a site, or you have a photo of a garment or a floor or anything, you can take a picture and immediately upload your own design. It could be that the design on the first generation is not the exact size. So you can give our AI also instructions. So if I upload my own design, I can give it additional instructions saying, well, the design is more or less this by this size, so make sure it repeats so many times on the floor. Again, because it's all generated AI, we don't have a lot of exact millimeter control of how the design is being placed, but it will give you a very quick overview of how the design might look in a certain setting. And this is actually a great tool also to use for clients or for salespeople to show. I will always show this with our carpet designs because they really look nice on the rug. So let me pick this design, and I have my preset rug. So it's actually live going to ask our AI to generate this on the fly, place the design on the rug, and also keeping, of course, the sizing, the shadowing, the height of the carpet, and you get a very quick overview. If required, you can ask it maybe change the wall color to a different tone. So there's a lot of options that you can do here. Well, as you can see, it will give you a very nice overview of how this designs look like in a 3D setting. Okay, so let's have a look at collections. Also, something very interesting in ArtGO.Digital. So collections are basically a group of designs that you want to share with um, a group of users, or maybe one particular user. It will tell you what the name is, who created it, what the how many designs are in there. So I have a set of 8 designs. Even I can search specifically in my collection. If there's a lot of designs in my collection, I can do a searching here, of course. Also an image similarity. I can generate a PDF printout of all of the designs that are listed. It will generate one PDF with 8 pages with all color information, your logo, your um, copyright information, and the layout that you want. So how do we make that? For example, if I have a set of favorites, and these are designs, maybe a mood board, maybe different designs that I handpicked for my client. So favorites again are something by that is attached to your own user. I can add all these designs to a collection. So I can create a new collection, new collection 2026 for a certain client. And you can decide to share that with a certain role. So maybe with artisan fabrics or maybe with another client role. And the moment that I save that, all the users within that role will automatically get an email saying there is a new collection available with a link, and they can immediately click on the link, log into the system, and view the designs in the collections. So there are, it's also possible that you can uh, only give access to your clients to only see collections. So they don't see the entire library, but you decide really what designs should be visible to a certain login, where you have real control over what they can see and only that, of course. So I can an existing collection, I can edit it, I can remove items from my collection, I can share it to more people if that's required, or delete it to if the collection is not relevant anymore. On the top, it will also show, okay, what is my last collection that I've been in. That's a quick option to always quickly go back to something you were in before. Okay. Maybe have a look at the PDF templates. So these are the predefined PDF templates, and I'll just open up my print design A4 just as an example. So you can see that the template can be very easily customizable. So I can, by drag and dropping, so there's no programming involved, no customization. You can decide yourself what kind of information you want to show on the template. For example, add some tags, add images, add my color palette, and also my color palette. You can decide I want to show my a color name, the color index. You want to show a color code, for example. Should it be a square or a round chip? Should it have shadow? And what is the sizing of the color chip? So you can control all of these things. You can add a logo. So what we advise is create a template in, for example, Word or Illustrator. Save it as a PDF and use that as a PDF background, which maybe has always your copyright information, your logo, maybe something else you always want to have on the template. And every time a design is printed, it will always use that template. Of course, the system has a lot of options for user management, for role management. So every role you can decide what access they have. So if I look at my power users, you'll see there's a lot of options you can control for each role. So we always advise to have somebody from the IT department to manage this, or somebody that takes really control of the application. Having a look at clients, clients are a specific role in our application, which are only limited. So they're able to see collections and your library if you give access to that, of course, and search on that. Then they can generate a PDF, work in recoloring, and run 3D. So it's a very limited group and only available for external clients. Any other internal users will be placed in normal roles like a sales department, production department, power users, design department, etc. Um, Also to show you our layout of, for example, can I change my tag? So if I go to my print design, you'll see all the different tags that we have configured here. So my file name, title, design number. Here you can change the name. So maybe in your case, you're calling it a design code and not a design name. You can very easily change that. I can change also roles and visibility. So maybe hide this particular field for certain users. Um, you can decide if there is a description, how wide the field should be in the layout. Should there be a file mapping, meaning Well, if I import the file, I automatically want to import the DPIs or the color information, the file name, I mean, there's a bunch of items that are possible to load in. Even if you're working with Photoshop files, we can, or photographs, we can load in the EXIF information. I'm sorry, like location, name, photographer, and store that in the system. Okay. Um, let's have a quick look at what other things we can customize. I will not go in details, but our system can enforce workflows, and these are a set of automations in the platform. So what happens when a certain design is being created? Should maybe somebody get notified? Should there be some calculations be done automatically? There's also possible to send information to an external ERP, PLM, or content management system. So there's API connections. The moment that you configure something, a design is being saved or updated, on the background, it will contact an external system and maybe update an image somewhere else. Then have a look at notifications. So all the different notifications we can set in the system is here listed in one admin panel. So what should happen when comments are being made, or what should happen when collections are being made? Should we notify the owner? Should we notify the user? Should they be notified when something gets updated? And so you can control the system comes with a default setting, which is normally good enough. But if you want to have some custom rules on notification, you can set that up in our notification system. Um, Furthermore, which is also interesting, we have two different ways of importing designs. Well, actually, we have more ways of importing designs in our system, but I always talk about our AppSync, which is a tool which you can run locally on your system to automatically track the designs in certain folders. So you run this on your design system or maybe a dedicated workstation or server where this app will run on the taskbar. You set up which folders it should scan, and every designs that's being added or being changed in that location, it will automatically upload into the ArtGO.Digital platform. You can decide if the original file should be uploaded as well or just create thumbnails. So that means you don't need to manually import one by one your designs. You just save it where you're saving it on a NAS or a local server where you are used to store it, and let our app automatically synchronize designs to the system in batch. Additionally, we have specific connectors for Google Drive and OneDrive, where even on the background, we attach it to specific cloud folders. Or I mean, somebody can configure which folder should be automatically synchronized, and it will take all the designs automatically and store in our system. So these are automated ways of getting your designs in ArtGO.Digital. I haven't showed how you would do it manually. So let me just go back to the print designs. I can click on new. And this is just a very simple manual way of getting a design in the platform. I have a bunch of example designs. So let me pick any. I'll just drag and drop it here, and it will automatically be analyzed first of all. So there's a couple of things happening. Um, Whatever information is being possible to extract automatically, we will do. So of course, file name, title, what is the main color, secondary color, what is the style of the design. If we can read the color information and percentages, we read that. So you don't need to add this information manually. Whatever is possible. As you can see, our AI also gave a automatic description. So repeating floral pattern with stylized flowers, uh, symmetrical arranged in a vintage style. Great. So Actually, on all of these tags, you can also later search because they will end up in our database and are searchable. It will calculate the repeat sizing in inches, in centimeters, the pixels, the DPIs. Even if you're using an equal resolution in horizontal and vertical, we can get that information. Of course, items like notes or for which client it has been made or what is the status, that is something that we might not be able to extract automatically. So you can add that yourself and save that. So this is a one by one or an import of a single design. I can also import many designs at once. So I can do a multi-import. And so I'll just go back to my example folder, select a couple of designs, drag it in there. So for my example, I've got 4 designs and they will automatically be imported one by one. And again, this can be any file format that the system supports. It will upload them, and on the background, it will create our thumbnails. It will create the tagging, everything what is possible to extract, we can import. If there's additional info you have in an Excel sheet or in maybe an external system, they can be that information can be imported as well. So we do have a import Excel data where you can drop an Excel list where you have the name of the file and then different columns of order information, customer information, design, notes, statuses, etc., etc. You can just drag that Excel file here and you can connect the columns and it will automatically be imported into the system. What we can also do is do a batch update. So I can select certain items, for example, the last files that I've uploaded, and I want to set them all to a certain client. So I'll just click my client field and I'm going to set it to Eco Outdoor Solutions, my test client, update 5 print designs. Sure. And all of these designs are now automatically tagged on, and I think my client is here, Eco Outdoor Solutions. So you can do batch update very quickly. Of course, if your user has access to that. You might have noticed that we've automatically repeated the design. So in our configuration of this particular print design, you can decide how the thumbnail will be generated. First of all, you give sizing about the small thumbnail and large thumbnail, but also if the image should be repeated when you're importing it. We have another option that can apply paper format. A paper format is when designs have an unequal resolution, often used in jacquard weaving or carpet weaving, where the moment that you're importing that design, it will automatically make sure the design will be visualized correctly. Repeating image, I can also repeat it automatically to a certain size, let's say 1 by 1 meter, 2 by 2 meters, and based on the sizing information, we will automatically repeat the design for a certain up to a certain size. Well, you notice here on the top I have show watermarks, and watermarks also very interesting. That means that for certain roles, for example, my clients, always the design will be showed with a watermark. And I'm going to log in now with client users, and you'll see how that looks like. So I'm going to log out. Okay, I'm logged in with a client user. You can see the layout is completely different. I don't have all my options to configure the system on the left. So I've set up this client to look at my collections when they're logging in. So I can only see a certain design. I can search on that, maybe add it to my own favorites. But as you can see, all of the designs will have a copyright on there. And the copyright is automatically added on our server side, so there's no way to get around that. The copyright can also be your own logo, because this is just a transparent PNG file that will be automatically placed on the designs before they're actually being shown on the browser. So that means also stealing designs, for example, right click is turned off. It's not easy to steal the design. And even if they are happen to take a screenshot, there will always be a copyright logo on top of it. That's a great way of protecting your designs. So as you can see, there is much less information that this client will see. So I don't have the option, first of all, to edit designs or edit my fields. It will just show the fields that I've specifically selected for this design or for this client to see, which is maybe color information and um, some generic information about the design. I can only see my categories that I've given access to. Uh, if my client role has access to categories, I will see them here as well. There's a limited access here, but I've given this client also access to certain categories, which can also be mood boards, for example. It's a great way of sharing different visual items to your clients. So a mood board, again, can just be an image with some information about the mood board. What is the season? What is the theme concept, for example? And you can link. Let me just go back to a design that has some designs. So I can link designs to a mood board. So if I have a mood board, I can say, well, view all my designs that are linked to this mood board. Of course, this is a demo environment, might not be 100% matching, but I think you get the overview. So what can we do? Again, as a user, I can generate a PDF, I can add it to my favorites, or I can add a comment, great, for example, and post it. So that's a quick overview of the system. Again, we have multiple roles, multi user login, and also a lot of security features on the platform to make sure that we can really track what users are actually doing. There's audit and trail logs as well on the background to make sure that that security is enforced and designs are not being shown to people that don't have access to that. Um, so that's it for the platform, and thank you for watching this short demonstration. Thank you.